Who is this actually good for? Who should skip it? And is it worth the price for normal, everyday buyers? If you've ever stood in a tiny living room, tried to line up a projector on a bookshelf, and ended up with a massive shadow, you already know the frustration that comes with the wrong throw distance. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. And in the next few minutes, I'll walk through why the Maxell AW3506 might be the sweet spot for some, and why it could be a misfire for others. First off, the biggest decision most people face when shopping for a projector is where they'll actually use it. Do you have a dedicated home theater room with a dark wall? Or are you looking to throw a picture onto a whiteboard during a weekly meeting? The AW3506 is an ultra-short-throw LCD model, which means you can sit just a foot or two away from the screen and still get a 100-inch image. That design eliminates the need to mount a projector on the ceiling or clear a long aisle. A huge practical win for apartment dwellers or office spaces where floor real estate is at a premium. What makes that convenience matter is the lamp life. Maxell rates the lamp at 6,000 hours in eco mode, which translates to roughly a year and a half of regular weekend movie nights before you'd need a replacement. If you're the type who binge watches a new series every weekend, that longevity reduces the hidden cost that many budget projectors hide behind a cheap price tag. The lamp isn't the only thing that saves you money. The unit runs on a fairly modest power draw, so your electricity bill won't spike when you fire it up for a presentation. Now, let's talk brightness. The spec sheet claims 3,700 ANSI lumens, and in practice that means the projector can hold its own in a dimly lit room without needing to black out every window. I tested it in a living room with ambient light from a TV and a couple of floor lamps, and the image stayed punchy enough to read text without cranking the contrast. That's a real advantage if you're planning to use it for both movies and business slides. The color output is strong enough that a PowerPoint with corporate branding still looks crisp, while a Netflix drama retains its intended palette. Resolution is where the MCAW3506 starts to show its limits. At WXGA 1280800, you won't get the razor-sharp detail of a full HD or 4K projector. For most office presentations, that resolution is more than adequate. The text is clear and charts look clean. For home cinema, however, you'll notice a softness in the fine details of a high-budget film, especially on a 100-inch screen. If you're a cinephile who demands 1080p or higher, this projector might feel like a step down from the experience you expect. That's why I'd recommend it to anyone who plans to use the device mainly for casual streaming, video calls, or classroom settings, rather than a dedicated movie room. One practical strength that often gets overlooked is the dual HDMI ports that also support MHL. This means you can plug a laptop and a streaming stick simultaneously and just flip the source without unplugging cables. In a family setting, one parent can have a laptop connected for work while the kids hook up a game console, and swapping between them is as easy as pressing the remote. The remote itself is straightforward, with dedicated buttons for picture mode, lamp control, and source selection, so you don't have to fumble through on-screen menus. On the flip side, the speaker situation is modest. The built-in speaker delivers enough volume for a small room, but if you're planning on hosting a game night or a movie marathon, you'll quickly want to add external audio. That's not a deal breaker. Most people pair a projector with a soundbar or a simple Bluetooth speaker, but it's an extra cost that can catch first-time buyers off guard. Also, the unit's LCD panel, while generally reliable, can exhibit a slight screen door effect when viewed up close, especially on a large screen. If you sit too near the edge of the image, you might see a faint grid, something you wouldn't notice with a DLP projector. Installation is genuinely painless thanks to the ultra-short-throw design. You place the projector on a table or a low shelf, aim it at the wall, and use the keystone correction to fine-tune the shape. The keystone range is generous enough that you don't need a perfect perpendicular angle. A few degrees off, and the picture still stays rectangular. For people who dread calibrating a projector for weeks, this is a breath of fresh air. The only hidden trade-off is that you need a flat, white surface that can handle the throw distance. A glossy TV screen can cause unwanted reflections, so a matte projection screen or a plain white wall is ideal. Let's address the price question. The MCAW3506 lands in the mid-range bracket, cheaper than high-end home theater models, but pricier than a basic office Pico projector. Considering the lamp life,